What's up, guys? NepentheZ here, and welcome back to another episode of Football Manager. In the last episode, we had just kind of started the season off, and on the video, it didn't go very well. We won our first 3 games on stream. We lost the 2 games that we played on video. Since then, a lot has happened. A lot has changed. And I'm going to run you guys through it now. So we will have a couple of games in today's video as well. But first of all, I nearly got fired. I thought the promises stayed, but basically the board were really, really unhappy with me. And I'll show you where the club vision's at with that. So work within the wage budget I'm not doing, which obviously they're unhappy about. But it's not like terrible either. I'm only £800 or so per week outside of the wage budget, which I think for the squad that we built is more than acceptable. If they gave me any transfer budget, I would have actually been able to trade that off for a bit more wage budget, but that's not what they particularly wanted. In terms of the Vanarama South, they want me to reach playoffs as a minimum, and they were unhappy with my performance because I wasn't in the playoffs after about 17 games in the season. However, I only wasn't in the playoffs on goal difference. I wasn't outside of the playoffs or wildly away from the playoffs. It was literally a case of we were there or thereabouts, the long way to go in the season. We were hitting a good run of form and everything was going good. But of course, we wasn't technically in the playoffs, but that's not what they wanted. They only wanted to reach the playoffs by the end of the season. So I felt like they should have given me a bit more time. They wanted us to reach the first round of the FA Cup, which we didn't. We got to the 4th qualifying round. However, one of the benefits that they had before, which they don't have there now, was that they were happy with the 1-1 draw that we had to Torquay. So in terms of the schedule, you'll see here the FA Cup 3rd round qualifying against Guernsey, we won. And then the FA Cup, where is it? Oh, sorry, that's the FA Trophy. The FA Cup 4th round qualifying here against Torquay. At the time we played Torquay, they were top of the Vanarama National League. I don't know where they are now. Now they're 11th, but they were top of the league. I don't know if it has the history of the league, their league, whatever. But either way, they were top, and now they're still 11th. And we got an away draw against Torquay, and then only lost 2-1 in the replay at home 4 days later. So yeah, I didn't quite make it to the first round, but we couldn't possibly have had a worse draw than getting one of the best teams in the best league that's available in the draw. So I think the board should have taken that into consideration, which they didn't do. And so that we failed that, supposedly. But in terms of the FA Trophy, reach the 2nd round as a minimum was the target, and that's exactly where we are in the FA Trophy. We are in the 2nd round, I believe. Let's have a look at the schedule again. So we beat Boreham Wood. Oh, we're in the 3rd round now. We beat Curzon Ashton. We just smashed 5-1 just a couple of games ago. We got Boreham Wood, which again we drew at home in the 1st round, and we beat them 2-0 away in the replay. And Boreham Wood are another Vanarama National League team. They are quite low. They're down in 20th. But the fact that we got a draw and a loss to Torquay and a draw and a win to Boreham shows me that our team is currently good enough to fight in the Vanarama National League. So if we can get promoted this season, we should be able to, at the very least, stave away from relegation if we get promoted. So that was like where the board vision was, and they just weren't happy with it. And they gave me 30 days. Like I basically went into a meeting with them. I said give me 30. I wanted to be salty towards them and just be like, look, you guys got no clue what you're talking about. But the chat told me that if I say that, they'll just fire me. So I asked them for 30 days, and then I had a 30-day period where the last game that we got to play was against Boreham Wood. So we played Boreham Wood, Dartford, Chippenham, Bath, Guernsey, and Tonbridge, right? And our last 2 games were against Dartford, Chippenham, and Bath. Now, obviously, in the table, Bath are 2nd, Dartford are 5th right now, and they're both good teams. I needed to pull something out of the bag to make sure I was in the playoff places at the end of the 30 days, and I was 7th by 1 point. I was literally there by 1 point. Since then, we pushed on. We're now 5 points with the gap there. But the 5-point gap isn't good enough. We actually, although we managed to get some good wins against the big teams, we then, we lost to Dartford, which was fine. We beat Chippenham just. But even after losing to Dartford, we were still 7th. We then ended up knocking Boreham Wood out. We beat Eastbourne Borough 3-0. You can see the scorers here, Bennett, Curran Brown, and Brad Burton. We then drew with Dulwich Hamlet, which was a big game for us as well, because they're in the top 5, top 7 as well. And then we beat Havant and Waterlooville, which is another good game there. You can see that 92nd minute for the winner. Very nice indeed. And Dulwich Hamlet, I think, yeah, we drew 1-1 and we dominated that game. So all in all, December was quite a good month. Only the 1 loss in the league, no losses outside of that, and 4 wins. Good month for December. We then start into January. We drew with Gosport. I want to show you the goal that that Gosport scored to equalise, because it is a travesty, right? It is a travesty. Like our goalkeeper, Cole, he's been brilliant for us this season. But just look at this. Matthews plays it back to Cole. He takes the touch of the ball and he just leaves it. And so we end up drawing a game that we dominated. Where's the... I don't know how to see the match stats. There you go, match stats. 17 shots, 8 on target. 4 clear-cut chances to their 1. Just general control of the game. And we end up drawing against Gosport, who are a super low team in the table, right? Where are they? They're at 15th right now, and obviously that 3 points against us was big for them. So we drew with Gosport after getting some great results against Dulwich and Havant and Waterlooville. Great result against Eastbourne Borough and Borehamwood. Great result against Chippenham. We drew with Gosport, and then we played Billericay. Now, Billericay are another team that now they're in mid-table again, but obviously 3 of those points were against us. Because they obviously, Gosport got 1 point against us. But Billericay was another game where once again, the goalkeeper absolutely shafted us. So for 2 games in a row, Cole has ruined our not our season, so to speak. But this is Billericay, right? So look at his goal here. Potter gets the ball out right, and then what is that? I mean, that is embarrassing from the goalkeeper. So we since dropped him, right? Because that was just another mistake that I couldn't tolerate. I couldn't tolerate it, right? We then played Curzon Ashton 5-1 in the second round of the FA Trophy, and we absolutely smashed them. Wilding, Hanks, Hurst with 2, Burton with a goal. And then we played Hemel Hempstead, and although we won this game, I just want to show you this, right? We were 3-0 down. We scored 77, 78, 79, and 88. But this wasn't a game that we didn't deserve to win. We absolutely deserved to win this game. 26 shots, 10 on target, 7 clear-cut chances to their 1. The fact that we were 3-0 down in the first place was tragic. But the boys came up big. We ended up getting just a much-needed win. It's just so strange how 3 of the easiest games that we should have had were 3 of the more difficult games that we had. And then game against Eastbourne Borough, Dulwich Hamlet, and Havant and Waterlooville were games where we struggled to get the points, or should have struggled to get the points, but got the points. So next up, we've got Dorking and Farnborough. So for today's episode, we've got 1 really tough game, 1 really easy game. Dorking at currently 8th. And to beat Dorking will be a massive step in the right direction for our playoff places. Not only will it hopefully propel us closer to Dartford and Dulwich, obviously we want to get into 3rd place. Like, if you finish 4th, you might as well finish 7th. Otherwise, finishing 2nd and 3rd is really good, because 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th play off against each other. The 2 winners then play against 2nd and 3rd. The 2 winners of those then play against each other, and the winner of that goes up, right? So it's a bit of a ball ache if you finish in 4th to 7th. So I do want to try and push up towards that 3rd spot or higher for the rest of the season. And beating Dorking will be a massive step towards that, because it will just put more distance between us and the 8th place and lower, which will be great. And then obviously we after that we have Farnborough, who are just in a lot of trouble and should be an easy win for us. So that's where we're at in terms of results, the competitions, the league, and what's going on. In terms of the squad, we've let a few players go. Let's have a look at the transfers and show you guys the transfers out. So how do I show, oh, there you go, transfer history. So transfers, 3 transfers. Oh, wait, all of it is there, isn't it? All transfers. Yeah, so we let go of Snake. Well, he just left us for Dartford, which is a shame, because Dartford are doing all right. We let Rian O'Sullivan go on a free. He just wasn't doing the business for us. We had much better players in this position. We let Andre Da Costa go to Basingstoke for free. Where are Basingstoke now in the table? Oh, they're in the English League. They're even below. They're super low. So he went to Basingstoke. Matt Jones went to Basingstoke, and Daniel Bailey went to Basingstoke as well. So we let those five go this season, but we brought in a lot. We brought in Asante, who I'm going to show you, and Goodman, who I'm going to show you in a second. We brought in Devon Arnold on loan from Yeovil. He's done all right for us so far this season. 11 sub appearances, 1 start, 3 goals. Can't fault that. He doesn't get on much. He is literally used as a complete and utter backup striker. We've had a few injuries to Hurst and Bennett this season, so he's been quite nice. We brought in Sam Wilding on a free transfer. Really good for the position he plays in centre midfield. Really good stats and has been good for the team in general. We brought in James Matthews on a free transfer as well. A centre back or right back. He is a regular in a team, and his physicals are brilliant. His mentals are brilliant. His tackling's good. His heading's good. He, in general, is a really good player for the team and one of the star players in the team as well. We brought in James Morris on a free transfer. And as you can see, James Morris already doesn't play for the club anymore. He's in the Crawley under-23s now. So, you know, he was a left back. We're playing 3 at the back this season. I'll show you the tactics in a second. So, yeah, 3 at the back. We just had no need for him. You know, his stats aren't too great. He's got good physicals, but the rest of his stats aren't really super great. So we let him go not too quickly. We brought Sam Bennett back on loan. He just hasn't performed like he did last season. Last season on loan for us, he scored 20 goals in 32 appearances. This season, in a better team, he's only got 7 goals in 27 appearances. Sure, he's got some sub appearances in there, but in general, he's started 19 games with 8 sub appearances and just can't score for us this season. So Sam Bennett not doing too good. Agbon Tahoma, absolutely brilliant signing. One of our best players this season. You can see his average rate in there is a 702 for the whole campaign, which is fantastic. He's got good physicals. He's got great marking and tackling. His stamina is a bit of an issue. He always gets quite tired by the end of the game, but his determination is brilliant. His concentration is very good. He is a quality player for us. When we look at his season stats, our win percentage with him over 32 games is really, really high. So, you know, what is that? That's like a 60% win percent rate with him in the team. Absolutely fantastic. So we've thoroughly enjoyed him, and he's generally done great for us. We brought in James Holden on loan from Reading as a goalkeeper. He's now playing. He's played 1 game in the league and conceded 3 goals, 1 game in the cup and conceded 1 goal. But he's playing because Cole just needed some time off. You know, Cole was just making too many mistakes. And Cole is the goalkeeper that we brought in. He's actually been brilliant. He's already got 9 clean sheets this season. We only got 10 clean sheets with our goalkeeper from Civitar for the whole of last season. And in general, he's got all right stats. He just was making a lot of mistakes, you know. So I don't know. I think I want to bring him back in because he's better than Holden, but he needed a couple of games out. We then got Billie Clifford, another super player for us. He hasn't playing like a huge amount. He had an injury halfway through the season, but really, really well-rounded stats. A really quality player for where we're playing him. Really like him a lot. We then got Curran Brown, another brilliant signing. 27 appearances, 6 goals, 6 assists for him. Great player. We play him out on left mid. You can see from his stats, he's got really good physicals, good passing, good first touch, good crossing, good work rate. Not the greatest off the ball, but generally speaking, he's been really good for us this season. I like him a lot. And then it comes to our 3 monster signings. So Brad Burton we picked up. We picked him up from Aston Villa in the Championship. And Brad Burton in general is probably one of our better players this season and is hands down one of the best players in the league. Incredibly well-rounded. He's attracting attention from Sky Bet League 1 teams. So I've transfer listed him because he won't sign a new contract. His contract expires in 5 months' time and he doesn't want to sign it. Maybe if we get promoted, he might think again. But because my board are unhappy about the wage budget, if I can get rid of him now for a couple of thousand and get rid of his wage for the rest of the season, I still think we'll comfortably finish in, into the playoff places, which is exactly what we need to do. So I'd be happy to get rid of him. It's going to be sad to see him go at the end of the season. We've retrained him to be a right midfielder, and obviously these are the stats that he has for the right midfield spot are fantastic. And just in general, he is fantastic. It's just a shame. He's nice and young. He could be in the team for a good 3 or 4 seasons, but he just doesn't want to stay with us. So Brad Burton has been one of the star men of the campaign. We then got Jake Goodman, another centre-back that we picked up, another player who is just really coming into his own. He's only played 9 games this season now, but our win rate with him is really high. 16 games he's played in FA Cup. Let's take out the FA Cup and the trophy. Look at that. Oh, wait, we've actually won. I thought we'd won 6 out of 9 with him in the league, not 3 out of 9. All right, so maybe, just maybe, Jake Goodman is not what I thought he was, but his stats are really good. Jumping reach and strength are great. His mentals are great. He's got good marking, tackling, and heading. He is 27 years old. But in general, I quite like Jake Goodman. And then last but not least, we've got Enoch Asante. I signed this guy for one reason and one reason only. His physicals are outrageous, right? For this division, his physicals are unbelievable. His mentals and technicals are not very good, but physicals are all that matter in this, like, in this league. He hasn't done brilliantly in terms of goals or whatever, but in terms of chances created and chances in general, we got a good win rate with him, 15 out of 26. His average rating is very, very good. I don't know if you can see shots on target. That's per game, obviously 1.83. Dribbles made 1.24. Like in general, I'd have to figure out analysis shots. So we'd have to look at a match. Like, he gets a lot of opportunities every game. He just misses a lot of opportunities every game. I was hoping, because he's only 19, I was hoping that we'd be able to keep him for a good 4 or 5 years, maybe train his technical stats up so that he's good enough for us in Sky Bet League 2 and potentially Sky Bet League 1. But sadly, he doesn't want to renew his contract either. So he's going to be going at the end of the season. He's only on £180 a week as well. So unless something dramatic changes, we're going to lose Asante. And he is brilliant for the team. If only he could finish, he'd be even better. And that's where our team's at, guys. So we've got a really, really good starting 11. We've got a really, really well-balanced team right now. I sadly have once again overspent on the wage budget, which is not what the idea was. But of course, sometimes that's just the way it goes, right? You know, they want me to compete and get into playoffs. They got to go for that. So with regards to the tactics, we're playing a 3-5-2. We started playing 3 at the back, mostly because I didn't have a good left back and I had a lack of defenders in general. But because I have 5 quality centre-backs, the 3 that are in there, Jara and Goodman, we started playing 3 at the back, and then we put Burton at right mid because, again, for the position that he plays, his stats are fantastic. We play Hanks in at centre mid. We play Booty in the defensive role. He's got good tackling, good technique for a CDM, really good physicals, good first touch, and Booty in general is just brilliant. We play Curran Brown on the left-hand side. Now, his problem, he has 14 stamina and 15 natural fitness, right? Look at his stats here. 100% match sharpness, 94% overall conditioning. For whatever reason, in-game, he drains stamina like crazy. Now, I have got some personalized instructions on him, so get further forward, which might be why he burns some stamina. I don't know. Other than that, there's nothing, no reason why he should be draining so much stamina. There's nothing like crazy going on with him there. We've got Sam Wilding in at cam. The cam spot is a spot where I've really struggled to completely find the right player to fit in here. We've used Rio O'Connell in here quite a lot. Rio O'Connell's got good dribbling, good first touch, some good physicals, but his long shots, his passing, his technique, his vision, they're all pretty poor. So Sam Wilding, obviously in this role, his long shots, passing, and technique are better. His vision's better. His first touch is much, much better, but his dribbling sucks. So we're struggling to find the right player for the cam role, I suppose. And then we have Louis Rogers, who isn't our cam. Who's the other player that we had in at cam for a few games? So we used Maturino and Johnson. Devon Arnold we didn't use. So Billie Clifford is the other player. So Billie Clifford in at cam has got great stats for it. Good vision, good long shots, good passing, good first touch, good dribbling, good anticipation and composure, good flair, good technique, good agility. He just doesn't do anything. It's hard to explain, but he just doesn't do anything. But we'll play him in today's game and give him a shot. And then we've got Hurst and Asante up front. Asante, obviously, as a pressing forward, has brilliant physicals, exactly right for it. And then Hurst shouldn't be the best scorer in the club, but is by far. So Hurst has 17 goals this season so far, 11 in 20 starts on the league, and he had an injury period as well. And just in general, 17 goals in 35 appearances, which is a great return. And as I say, I struggle to get what I need out of Sam Bennett. He's got perfect stats for the position he plays in, or very good stats for the position he plays in. I literally just cannot get out of him what I need out of him. So for the rest of the season, I looked to bring in some loans from Reading and from Swindon, obviously my affiliate clubs. However, that wasn't the case. That wasn't to be. I tried to loan a couple of guys. I'll show you them, actually, who they were and what we were going for. But sadly, they just didn't want to come. They accepted, Lawless, Reading accepted the loan off of him. He just didn't want to come. He would have been brilliant for the last third of the season. In that cam role, he would have just been such a beast for us. But he just decided not to come. And then also this guy here, Ryan East, we tried to loan him and he also said no. And he would have been brilliant in that central midfield spot as well. It would have just given us like a little bit of depth for the final part of the season, which would have been very, very nice. I feel like our team is good enough to finish in the playoffs anyway. I really wanted to get promoted this season, and I still hope to get promoted this season. But if it doesn't happen, what we're going to have to work on a lot next season is really finding like the right players, to like spending a good amount of time in the off season to absolutely make sure that we get the right players for the right tactic. I don't want to play 3-5-2 next season. I want to go back to like a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2 or something like that and just play really, really simple crossing football, because we talked about it last episode, the one-on-ones in this game are broken. I'm not kidding, they're fully broken. And I know there's always match-ending errors in Football Manager, but the one-on-ones were already patched apparently to be better, and they're not, right? The amount of times Asante and Hurst and Bennett go through on goal and just don't provide anything is crazy. We'll probably see a couple of one-on-ones here as well. So Dorkin are going to have the first highlight, probably going to be a goal if it's from... Yep. Oh, disallowed for pushing another player. Unlucky, pal. That and DT we tried to sign as well, funnily enough. Let's have a... here we go. We've got a corner for ourselves 6 minutes in. Ball's going to come to Agbon to Homer! Almost over the bar. Yeah, so, the one-on-ones are screwed. So it's pointless playing narrow football. It's pointless playing through the middle. Like, playing down the wings and crossing the ball for your strikers is honestly the primary objective in this game, because you're just going to struggle otherwise. So, like, right here, even if we this I assume won't be a goal, because one-on-ones from counter-attacks just don't go in. There you go. You expect better, especially from someone like Asante. And that is a perfect example of Asante struggling to fit into this game's match engine, in spite of the fact that he should be spectacular for this division. He's just not, because of the one-on-one match engine, right? So we need to focus on a lot of set pieces, a lot of crosses, and a lot of wide build-up play, which means we need to get very physical, very good headers of the ball, and get our wingers to have very good pace and very good crossing. Oh my God. If that's all we need, essentially, wingers to have good pace and good crossing, get in, cut it across, and then centre midfielders to just have good distribution so that it can spread the ball wide for the crosses. That's all we're really looking for, for next season. And that's why I want to go back to the 4-4-2. And this is, again, another one-on-one. Hurst. Oh, he's actually scored it. What beast. What beast. Come on, man. He's actually scored a one-on-one. That's what I like to see. I tried to teach him to run around the keeper, train him. At this level with these kind of players, they're not very good at learning new instructions or anything like that. Is that going to be another goal? Here's Parker on the edge of the box. Oh, he's put it over the bar. They're not very good at learning anything, I suppose. So you can see here as well, guys. You know what I said with Curran Brown? There's Asante again missing another chance. Look, he's on 77% stamina. The guy has 14 stamina, 15 natural fitness, yet once again, he is one of the more tired players on the field. And so is Burton as well, which would indicate maybe it's the positions that are causing these guys to be tired. But either way, I would expect a little bit better. And Burton and Curran Brown are very, very good at crossing the ball to each other and scoring off of each other, which is really nice. So 1-0 here, this opens up. That does open up a really nice 7-point gap if we can hold on. So I'm going to bring Bennett on for Hurst. I'm going to bring off Clifford as well, because I don't want him to get sent off. And we'll bring off probably Hanks for Wilding in another 15 or 20 minutes, just again to make sure that we don't get caught on a counter or something. But here we go. This is going to be there. It's going to be our attack. This is going to be Connell. We've got a 2-on-2 here. Connell breaks down the left-hand side. He drives at that back line. He's all the way through. Can he finish this off? Oh, he can. Nakov has let it go through his legs, and Connell has just run a full 70 yards with the ball before putting it into the back of the net, and that is fantastic from the boys. And there we go. We're probably we're very much likely to win this game now. So let's bring off Hanks again. Just don't want him to get sent off and cause any issues in the last part of the game. And although we haven't had like the most possession this game, we've created considerably more opportunities and thoroughly deserved the lead so far. We've got Hanks on. It's Connell taking a free kick. Did I take Hanks off? Hanks is usually my free kick taker. And there's Parker over the bar again from Parker. He's had a couple of good headers that he's put over the bar. Might be smart to start playing a bit more defensive. Slowing the tempo down and wasting the time a little bit. Even if they score from this, we want this next 8 minutes or so to kind of just drive by quite quickly. Although it looks like this is going to be our attack again. Connell picks up the ball again. He's been brilliant since he come on the field. He needs a bit more match sharpness, which is good for us. Asante picks up the loose ball. He's got Bennett clean through. Bennett doesn't manage to get the ball there. Back to the goalkeeper. I know what it's like to have goalkeeping errors, man. I feel for this Nakov guy. And I wonder if that was the highlight. Hopefully it was, because I would just like the next 10 minutes to kind of pass without any real highlights or any dramas at all. It'd be nice if this game just finishes off here. But here's Curran Brown into Bennett. Bennett can't quite get it. Asante's going to pick up the loose ball. Back to Curran Brown. Flips that across. It's going to fall to Wilding on the edge of the area. Wilding to Connell. Oh, he's dragged that just wide of the post. And hopefully that'll be the highlight over. Yes, indeed. And now 5 minutes on the clock. And once again, the highlights are coming thick and fast now. But it does look like it's us. Oh, he's put that over. It does look like it's us countering quite a lot, which is nice. And here, this should be us being able to see out this game now for an easy 3 points. Hopefully a clean sheet as well. It'll do the goalkeeper good to get a clean sheet. I didn't change Cole back in, so I'll do the young loanee to have a good game and get his first clean sheet for the club. But maybe it won't happen because they are countering down this left-hand side here. Matthews ends up winning the ball. Curran Brown is not going to get there. Green picks that up for them. And then Buchanan at the back post. Richards is going to get another opportunity to put the ball in. And that's a great... Oh, I did put Cole back in. Oh, never mind. Maybe that's why we're saving these chances quite well. So a couple of minutes on the clock. Asante gets up. Connell has smashed it against their player. But the ball goes over for a goal kick. And that will be full time. And that is just brilliant. It opens up a massive 7-point lead between us and... even 7th place, but 8th place as well. So a really, really good gap opened up there now. And we are really consolidating our place in the playoffs. The task is going to be the 8-point gap between Dulwich Hamlet. It looks like Dover are running away with the league. And then Bath are pretty much, they're not safe there in second, but they are really pushing themselves into a position where they might even title for the challenge for the title. But for us, we can afford to have a few bad results here and there, but we've got Farnborough next. Farnborough should be a comfortable victory. We've got 7 days for that game as well, which is nice. And then if we can just keep opening up this gap between us and the 7th and 8th spots, I would be very, very happy. But the tactics working well, the team's working well. Hurst again with another goal. Who scored my other goal today? Who was it? It was Hurst. Was it Bennett with the other goal? I don't even remember. Scored our second goal. Oh, it was Rio Connell came on into that cam role and scored a nice goal there. So yeah, Farnborough away in 7 days' time, and that will be the game to end off today's video. A longer video for you guys today. It's going to be like a 40-minute video by the end of it. And for the rest of that, it's just about finishing off the season strong. Like, I don't have to do anything now. I don't need to tinker with the tactics. I don't need to change the personnel. We definitely need to prepare for next season, Hopefully Reading will loan us a couple of players again. Hopefully we'll get some, good signings in. We've definitely brought the reputation of the club up even more to the point where we should be able to start picking up a lot of Vanarama national players now that will want to come and play with us, get promoted with us and come into the Vanarama National with us. Alternatively, if we can have a storming second half of the season or final third of the season and get promoted, then next season the changes will ring in massively, because a lot of the players that I've got now, especially the rotation and backup players, are nowhere near good enough to be our main guys for next season. So we'll have to make some wholesale changes for next season as well if we can get promoted. But obviously if we don't get promoted, first of all, that'd be really sad that I spent 3 years in the Vanarama South. But also we'll be Parker got the player of the week. also will give us another season to really just sort this club out and get the tactics and the training and everything absolutely right, to the point where, of course, we the point where we can guarantee ourselves promotion next season. So just while this is saving, some of the comments from last video, James Fallon says individual training and affiliations are so important at low level. So individual training, I have got a lot of my players training individually now in areas that really benefits them. I don't know what an affiliation is. Did he go to Ryan East? Went to Eastleigh? Or in the Vanarama National? That's why he probably went there instead of here. I don't know what an affiliation is. Where's training? Is that mentoring? Let me know in the chat, guys, or in the comment section what affiliation is. So I've got, for example, I've got Hurst training, focusing on forward defend, although that's not actually where I want him to focus, and specifically additional focus on shooting. I'm not entirely sure what the affiliation is or means. So if you guys want to let me know and maybe give me a bit more advice and information on training, and specifically training at this level, feel free. I would happily take that advice. So here we go. We're leading into the final game for today's episode against Farnborough, and then probably the next episode. So what day is it tomorrow? Tomorrow's Wednesday. We might have Fatal tomorrow. We might have Fatal Thursday. Haven't decided yet. So we might have Football Manager again tomorrow, at which point you'll see more of like the progression up to the end of the season, and then hopefully by Friday we'll finish the season and be able to push on to season 3. But yeah, you get through the games quite quick, man, especially when they come thick and fast. One thing that I've used, so in the next 7 days, as you can see there, we've got 3 games. Farnborough, Woking and Morecambe. Now, Morecambe obviously the league game. Woking are 4th in the league. And for their schedule, do they also have like a whole bunch of games? Yeah, they got Chelmsford and then us 3 days later. So one thing that teams at this level don't do that we have the luxury of doing, which really helps, is resting our players. So when we played through, I had like 3 games in like 5-day period. I can't remember exactly where it was, but 9, 12, 16, 19, then 26, 28, and 2. So and then 5, right? So we actually had 4 games in like a 9 or 10-day period. And one thing that I did is just in between every game, I just gave my players full rest. And so the fitness levels of my team was way, way better, way, way higher than the fitness levels of my opponents, which is what really, really helped us beat Boreham Wood, actually, because their team was just on their feet by half time, whereas I gave my players the 2 days rest, which allowed us to get the match fitness or just the general fitness. And so I asked Stream, like, how valuable, how valuable is your kind of like conditioning at this level? And apparently it's extremely valuable. So for us, it was good to have, 90s and mid 90s and stuff for our conditioning versus our team who straight away came in at like 70s and low 80s. It was really, 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 really nice and allowed us to comfortably get that win against Boreham Wood, which was a good win and might have really helped towards saving my job. But here we are in the final game, guys, for today's video. Almost half time with absolutely nothing going on. Here we go. First highlight. Hanks whips the ball in. Agbon to Homer. That's his 5th goal, guys. His 5th goal of the season. The centre-back scores so many. He is another one that has, like, always drained by the end of the game in terms of stamina and fitness and whatnot. And he's all right now, but I shouldn't have. I wish I could change the shout now from demand more to just nothing, actually. And I found last season I used Get Creative a lot, and they used to respond very well to it a lot. This season, however, is Asante going to get a goal there? Oh my God, see what I mean with Asante? He's everything right except the finish. So this season I've noticed, like, whenever I use Get Creative, it doesn't actually fire them up or anything. It makes them anxious or nervous or whatever. So I just sometimes now kind of just stop giving manager shouts at all unless I actually need the manager shout. Because I found like it's just been a better system for me. And here we go. That's Hurst with another goal. Hurst is fantastic for us. I wish I could get him and Bennett scoring together. I just can't. Like last season, they were scoring crazy amounts of goals together. This season, it's just not happening. So let's bring Bennett on and see if we can put them both up together. Now when we're 2-0 up, now we praise them. They started getting a bit complacent, so the praise is there. And of course, against Farnborough, we absolutely should be dominating this game. Is Bennett going to get that? No. So 2-0 up and comfortable at the moment. We'll stay on balance. There's no reason to change anything unless Farnborough manage to nick a goal here somewhere. But hopefully we can break our win record and break our clean sheet record. Although it looks like this is going to result in a chance to the back post. Oh, Parker's actually headed it clear. And Burton's going to break away. And we've got a really good counter-attack here. Bennett is going to win the loose ball. Back into Booty. Matthews on the left-hand side. Plays it up to Bennett. And that is a great touch. He's got Burton out wide. This has got goal written all over it. And there's Curran Brown at the far post. And it's off the bar. And that is the duo. That right to left has been there all season for us. And they've been doing really, really well with that. Let's bring off... Hanks has got 2 assists. Let's keep him on. Let's bring Booty off. Play out the rest of this game. May make one more sub. See, they're getting complacent again, uninterested and such. So let me praise them again, and let's bring on Rio Connell for Brad Burton in that right midfield spot since he's getting complacent anyway. So 2 assists from Hanks is really nice. A goal from Hurst, a goal from Agbontahoma. Both set piece goals as well. Once again, very very hard to score with like open play goals or counter attacks or anything like that. But with 5 minutes on the clock, we are looking great, and hopefully the teams above us have dropped some points. Here is Connell, whips that into Bennett. Is Bennett going to score? No, he's put that over the bar again, or off the bar, according to the commentary. We can just see this game out now. Cole, hopefully, will get his 10th clean sheet or 11th clean sheet and break the record. And we 100% should be picking up this win now and breaking that record. Hurst is through. I have no faith in this. Yeah, see, like that again is just the match engine, man. The one-on-ones are just super frustrating. I know everybody that's playing Football Manager has to deal with that, and it doesn't get better at high level. You would think, when you get like much better players in your squad, they'll start scoring those one-on-ones a lot more. They don't. It is a bug or a problem or an issue with the match engine, and so that's all you can do with it really. So a few seconds left on the clock. Another fantastic win for the boys, and I'd love to see where that puts us in regards to the table right now. We've got Woking next. That is such an important game. Yeah, there you go. We're now 9 points clear of 8th, 8 points clear of 7th, and only 3 points away from Dartford in 5th, and 5 points away from Woking in 4th. So if we can beat Woking, we will close that gap up to 4th place very, very nicely. We're absolutely on form right now. We're playing good football. We've got a good tactic and a good team. We've got Woking in 4 days. So once again, I'm just going to give everybody... I'm going to give them 2 days rest. I want them to be completely fit for the Woking game. And that, guys, is going to be the end of the video for today. So leaving the table in 6th with, what do we got? 16 games to go. I'd be devastated at this point if we don't finish in the playoffs. So the board should be much, much happier with us now. We're up to a C+. Hopefully we can get up to a B as soon as possible. Very pleased here. The more we do here, the better. Maybe, and if I can just get rid of... couple more players on wage budgets and replace them, maybe with a couple of loans or whatever, that would be nice to bring that wage budget back down. But other than that, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.